Coming up, we're in the iFly 737 MAX again. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's another full flight video today and we are back in the iFly 737 MAX 8. This time in the Icelandair Livery, which has been beautifully recreated within the sim here. Today we'll be taking the aircraft from here in Keflavik, Iceland, and we'll be taking it down to Halifax. A bit of a different flight this. I haven't really done any kind of flight like this before, so yeah, we're just going to take it down and enjoy the aircraft once again, as we had done on the previous video. I've done a couple of flights myself with the aircraft out with, so hopefully I am just a little bit better at flying at this time. And yeah, so let's get into the flight deck and get started. So, SimBrief should be working this time for our flight plan, but before we get to that, again as usual, all I've done is put the battery on and get the ground power on just so that we had some nav lights etc outside. So first thing, we'll set the IRSs to nav. You can put the yaw damper on, or not because they're not ready yet, that's fine. We can arm the emergency lights. I'll just put the seatbelt signs on, why not? Cruising today is 360, and I believe that'll do it for up here at the moment. So if we go down to FMC, ident, we are at Keflavik, so that is Bravo India Kilo Foxtrot. We'll take the GPS left coordinates and set that in. So if we hit route, we are going to Halifax, that's Charlie Yankee Hotel Zulu. I'm going to flight plan request it. Fingers crossed it's going to download it. That's the hope. It definitely worked when I done this the other day. Amazing. So if we click load, it should load the flight plan in. There we go. Our call sign today is Icelandair 607. We are departing from runway 10 apparently. Don't know if that's right, but we'll put it in for now. The next thing I'm going to do is go to the performance and payload. See, it still takes a bit of getting used to. Weight and balance. So fuel for today is 12,400 kilos. So we'll set that. So we're going to try and get the zero fuel weight set. So passenger wise, 145. I think that was the same as one I done the other day, which is interesting. That puts our zero fuel weight to 57.9. I've got planned for 60.7. So basically what I've been doing is just putting in roughly some like kind of weights here that are going to get it close. So that's a little bit too high. I need it at 60.7, so let's put it at, what about 1500? 60.4, 1250. We'll go with that. It's close enough. We'll set the fuel as well, and then that is that done. So we can head back down we can go to performance. 0 fuel weight should now go in. We'll just put the reserves at 2. Transition altitude, it's fine. As I always like to explain with the channel, if you want to do things 100% realistic, then there is plenty of other channels out there that are going to do that. We're just going to do it in a nice kind of chilled, simple way. Enough to get us from A to B and just have a bit of fun with it. So the surface wind at the moment is 120 at 5. Now, I am pretty certain that is not the runway that they would use here. I can't say for certain that I know which runway they generally would use. I'm actually going to see what they're using on flight radar at the moment. Yeah, so at the moment they're using no, do you know, I tell a lie, they're using 10. That's fine. So we're runway 10. I don't believe we've got a SID. No, we do. I take that back. Let's execute that. That should be about right. Going into Halifax, I always program it at the beginning. If it changes, we can change it. We don't appear to have a SID. At the moment, it's got us on runway 23. Our last can't think. Our last waypoint is Bossub. And there isn't one of them there, so we're just going to go direct. We'll probably just self-vector around. I don't know what that will look like on the plan, so do you know, we'll just have a wee... Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much straight in anyway. That should be fine. Yeah, well, that'll be fine. Famous last words. So that's fine. So what we can do is go back to the performance N1 limit. Oh, what is going on here? There we go. Right, so we can do our performance calculations as well. So let's go to if we click complete here, yeah. So we are at BIKF search. There we go. Runway 10. It's dry. Wind is, what did I just say it was? 120 at 5. And this is when it does meters per second again, isn't it? Doesn't matter, I'm just going to leave it. It is currently 6 degrees Celsius. And the QNH is 991. Let's go takeoff 1 if it lets us. We'll go flaps 5. The air conditioning will be on and the anti-ice should be off. Is it going to let us calculate that? It is so. So what we'll do is there. Oh, I cannot speak today. We're going to 53 degrees 77.4 on the D rate. That seems really. Yeah. That's not right. Let's just go take off, recalculate that. This seems really low. So if we do take off, and what did we say we're going to? It's saying 53. The outside air temperature is 6. Takeoff, flaps 5. It's not giving us any speed on the I don't know what that actually means. I'm not sure. I don't know if that means it's not... This is where I show my... See, if I turn the air conditioning off... Let's do that. We'll do packs off departures. Why not? So, we'll just go back to performance. So, let's do... So, what would that be us flexing to... I don't know if it's even flexing in... 41. So, let's do that. That's fine. So that gives us a higher N1. Takeoff, flaps 5. That's still the same. So now we should be 143, 145, 154. 143, 145, 154. Right, so that's correct. So it'll be a packs off departure. A little bit different, why not? We can set the MCP up, so as we've just done, the V2 is 154. We'll set a rough heading of 100 degrees, just so it's roughly lined up with the runway heading. We'll initially go up to 160. As I say, we're not on VATSIM or anything like that, so we can just put something roughly in. We can arm the left flight director, the right, arm LNAV, arm VNAV. That'll be fine for the moment. 360 is already set up here. We can also set the takeoff trim, which is 5.55. I've turned it off. 5.5 roughly there. I have turned off the automatic trim setting in the EFB in the hopes that it will fix the issues I was having with it resetting every time I paused or anything like that. In terms of QNH, 9 or 9 or 7, what was it? 9 or 9 or 1 for the QNH, so we'll just set that in. 991. Can set that on the standby altimeter. There's 991 there. With that, what I'm going to do is ask GSX to prepare to push us back, and we're going to start getting set up here for departure. So with that, all the fuel pumps can come on. Can start the APU up. Window heats can come on. Fire the probe heats on. Bring the APU bleed on. We can have a little look outside, why not? Listen to the APU start up. Lovely sunrise as well here. A little bit cloudy, but not too bad for Iceland, I would say. I just want to check as well if I can use the little kind of the cabin crew controls. See, this is the thing. Now it's off, and I don't know. I have not a Scooby how to get it. I had it working earlier. Oh, I don't know what that does. Oh, the next thing that would be worth doing is actually seeing where the hell we're going. To be honest, it doesn't matter. We'll guess. Yeah, I don't know what. That the time for that is not just now. Okay, APU gens on. Anti-collision light can come on. Go to the EFB and we can get rid of the ground power. So that'll be system page, back, ground support, disconnect, set. That should hopefully take us. It's fine. So with that, we will release the parking brakes. And here we go for the pushback. I absolutely love this aircraft. It's very good. Anyway, we may as well get started with the engines because it will take some time. So we'll flick engine number 2 to ground. It'll start spooling up. Basically, we're going to wait for it to finish motoring. What that actually means, I don't know, but again, this is how we roll here on this channel. So once it's finished motoring, you'll see the N2, N1 and then all of that start to go up as it goes, and then once it disappears we can flick in the fuel and we'll sit back and listen to it starting up. I absolutely love that noise. GSX wants us to set the parking brakes, so we will do that. So we've got a good start. We'll go over to engine number 1. It'll get started up. At least I appear to have pushed us back in the right direction. Or GSX has, to be fair. GSX has done a better job than it usually does, so that is a bonus. Again, I'm just waiting for it to finish motoring, and once it's done we can put the fuel in. There it goes. Fuel in. We may as well listen to engine 1 start up as well, why not? I do absolutely love the sound of this aircraft. So with that we have 2 good engine starts, so what we'll do is we will go over to generator 1 and 2. That's fine. We will take the APU off, starter switches to continuous, hydraulic pumps can come on. We'll put the air conditioning on for now, and once we get to the runway we can put that back off. Bleeds on. Press the button for the sound effect, why not? We can flick this to Gen 1 just to keep an eye on it. And I believe that's everything. We could set flaps to 5. Flaps are there set. Auto brake can go to RTO. And with that, I will release the parking brakes. I will ask SkyDolly to begin recording the flight. Taxi lights and turn-offs can come on. And let's get this show on the road, shall we? So this looks like it will be a fairly short taxi out to runway 10. I don't even know why I'm doing that. I don't have Navigraph set up. Should be a simple taxi out though to the runway. Apart from the fact we've got this vehicle that's going to come down and totally ruin the realism, but why not? It wouldn't be flight sim without something like that happening. It also wouldn't be flight sim without me absolutely butchering a turn because I'm too busy looking out of the wing. Look at that wing. Just so my view is, if we look out of the wing view, we won't see the truck that's about to run into us, so it's all good. Just check the recall as well. All good. The wing flex on the ground is something that I really enjoy about this aircraft. It might seem like a small thing, but you know, whenever you've been in a real aircraft, you'll know when you watch the wings in pretty much every aircraft do bounce about a lot while you're on the ground. The wing flex while you're in the air in the iFly 737 MAX, I don't know. It's good, but it feels a little bit too rigid in the air. I don't know. It might just be the weather conditions that I've had, but it feels like on the ground it really goes with the bumps. You can almost feel it, especially when you're on the takeoff row, when you're on the wing view. If you've ever been on like a plane and you're taking off, you know, it kind of feels like as you go along, the aircraft is like ready to bounce out into the sky. It's hard to describe, but it just feels like you feel the plane want to take off. You feel the wings going with it, which this has modelled really, really well. I'm just not sure that once you're in the air if it's quite as good, but it's not bad. It's not bad by any stretch. It feels rigid, but that could just be the weather conditions that I've had and encountered so far with the aircraft. So it's definitely not a blight on the product. It's to be honest, it's a minimal thing anyway. And with that, we are pretty much already here. So once we've come around this corner, we'll take the packs off for departure, get the strobe lights on, etc. Iceland is somewhere I've never been, but somewhere I would like to go one day. Landing lights can come on, strobe lights on, backs off. Gives you a nice quieter takeoff.
10.
That is checked. Approach is clear. Now, if SkyDolly works properly, you'll probably see some replays and views of the wing as we take off. If not,
On runway 1, 0.
If not, I apologise. Okay. Auto throttle can be armed. We'll go flaps. Take the power to 40% roughly. And take off. Thrust set, 80 knots. V1, rotate. Gentle pressure coming back. Come on. Oh, really didn't want to take to the sky there at all. Gears coming up. I have no idea what's just happened to the weather. Not a Scooby. Ah, dear. Good old MSFS. That's actually active sky, I can blame that on. That was pretty horrendous. We'll go Command A. That was horrendous from active sky. That's actually really annoyed me, that. Just about to hit this left turn. Flaps 1. Or all the way up. I must have done it 3 times. It's now a horrendous day outside. Do our after takeoff checks, so we can put the auto brake to off, starter switches off, we can bring the packs on now. We'll set standard pressure because we're going all the way up. So we'll put the bug up to 360 on the MCP if I can get there. Oh. Aircrafts all over the shop. Altitude intervene it a few times. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Now the one thing I'll say is with SkyDolly, it can be a bit temperamental, or not temperamental, but the way I record the replays of the flight is by basically I'll stop SkyDolly recording and then I'll then set it up to record again once we're on the approach into Halifax, and then once we're finished the flight I then go back and record the departure and landing, but basically so it doesn't interfere with the flight, because you know, panel state issues and just general recording of replays and flight sim is temperamental at best. But what it means is the weather and time doesn't always match what it was when we departed. So if the replays, if it has worked of the departure, if the clouds are different, if it's raining, if it's sunny, but it wasn't like that when we departed, the reason for that is because of what I've just described. This is live weather, so the live weather in 5 hours after we've landed and I go back to re-record the departure will probably be different. But yeah, that's an explanation, I guess, as to why things happen the way they do, I guess. But this, I absolutely love the aircraft. It's yeah, absolutely spot on. But anyway, as we are going about to pass through 140, it's probably time I leave you. So with that, I will see you when we're on the approach down into Halifax, and enjoy the cruise shots of this lovely iFly 737 MAX 8. Hello everybody and welcome back. We're in the descent down into Halifax. If I sound a bit groggy, I've just woken up from a little nap. But yeah, we're on the descent down into Halifax. In terms of the approach, nothing's changed. The wind at the moment down there is 200 at 7. So for the runway, nothing has changed. Plane actually wants a bit of drag just now, so we'll just put some speed brake out. We can also set some more of the approach up. So the ILS for this approach is 1099. So if we change this to ILS, 1099 is already set. 1099. I'm also going to put the course in. I'm not again sure if I actually need to, but we're going to do it anyway. We can bring the speed brakes back in for now. There we go, 233 on the course. We seem to be roughly okay at this speed, which is fine. I'm just going to fire the seatbelt signs on at the moment. And yeah, it's a relatively straightforward approach down here into Halifax, and the weather is not too bad at all. It's pretty cold. It's 0 degrees Celsius at the moment, but the sun is out with some partial cloud coverage, so we should be absolutely fine for the approach. So we're just about to pass through 10,000 now, so with that we'll fire the landing lights on. Been in the air for roughly 4 hours, so not too bad at all. We'll just go and sit on the wing view for the right turn we're about to make, why not? Because the sim is looking stunning as always. As we surf through some clouds on the descent. Cannot beat the wing view in flight sim, especially in this plane. It's yeah, I've said it a million times in the past couple of videos for it, so I won't constantly repeat myself, but it's good. And with Frozen, oh, we're back. If you heard that in my voice there, that was because last time it done that, it crashed, the sim crashed, so I'm glad it didn't there, because that would have been rather annoying. So thank you for not crashing. Because it's rather frustrating after a long flight when it crashes, especially if it's set towards the end. The last time it done it, it was on a departure, so that wasn't as bad. I don't actually know why it crashed, but alas. So as you can see, everything has been absolutely smooth for this approach. Just as we get a bit closer to the airport, just going to arm the localizer. Not thinking about slowing down or anything like that yet, we are absolutely fine for the moment. Just going to set auto brake 2 as well. I believe that'll be the airport there. Which it does indeed look like it. A little bit stuttery as we come in, but I'm okay with that, again, as long as we don't crash. Because this is the most stuttery I've seen the sim in a while, but yeah, as I say, as long as the sim doesn't crash, I'm not going to complain. So we've just hit the decel point, so the speed's just going to come down now. At decel point, I usually like to just hit out with flaps 1 just to give it a helping hand. It just helps give us a slow down just ever so slightly. We're still a good bit out from the airport yet, but bring the range in a wee bit more. It'll probably bring the throttle in just as we hit flap 1 speed here, but we're sitting just about spot on with the glide, so I'm actually just going to let it keep managing the descent. So there comes the throttle. So we probably didn't need to quite go flap 1 at that stage there, but it's okay. As long as the plane just continues to manage. Don't want the glide to drop below. We're probably going to catch the localizer any second now anyway. And when we do, we can arm approach mode. Thank you, Active Sky. Again, I did edit Active Sky so that it wouldn't do this. There we go, there's approach mode, flaps 5. Bring that speed down to 5, flaps 5 bug. Yeah, I did try and edit Active Sky's settings to not do that with the weather when we're on approach at the very least, but that seems to have worked a treat. Bit of snow about, can't beat it. Oh, look at that. Now the ground is completely snowed. I do not understand. If anyone knows how to fix that, feel free to let me know. I mean, it looks more realistic, I guess, with like the snow, but still, be nice if it was either already like that or. Anyway, flaps 15, gear down. We'll go to final approach speed, which is 146. We can arm the speed brake. And we'll go flaps 30 from the wing. Set up in the approach, bit of a crosswind at the moment. It's not too bad. Fire the rest of the lights on. Engine start switches to continuous. We're about to land. Sit your arses on the seat. And yes, let us land. So auto throttle out, command A out. Let's do this. The hand flying in the aircraft is it feels quite good, quite nice. It's quite smooth, quite stable. I'm not a real 737 MAX pilot, so whether that is true to life or not, I don't know, but it does feel nice within the sim.
1,000.
In case it wasn't already obvious that I wasn't a 737 MAX pilot with my wonderful flying skills.
Approaching 2, 3.
a little bit high. We have been the whole approach, but it's not too bad. That's us falling now. The engines are very sensitive. I have watched a few videos where people have said that the engines are too responsive as to what they would be in real life. It does, as soon as you move the throttle, the N1 is chasing you, so I'm sure that will be changed. Pretty much on the glide again.
$100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
That was a little bit of a not so great landing there. We kind of just let it bounce into the ground, but it is what it is. Welcome to Halifax. Idle reverse. If you watch my previous video, you know I cannot get enough of the sound of the aircraft braking. Speed brakes are coming in. Up come the flaps. And we'll take this exit here. Yeah, welcome to Halifax. Never been to this airport in the sim. Whether that be MSFS or P3D or even FSX back in those days, or FS 2004, which was my first sim. So we're just kind of winging it as to where I'm going with the parking. So we can take the landing lights off, we'll take the turn offs off, we'll just leave the taxi on. Start switches can go off and the strobe light can come to just steady. We'll start the APU. Yeah, we kind of smashed that into the ground, or at least that's what it felt like. Yeah, so I don't know where Icelandair park or anything like that in general, so as always, we're just going to make it up.
Caution, on taxiway, on taxiway.
Sorry, Ras. Sorry. Dearie me, was not happy with me there, was it? This is when I need to go to an outside view to actually see where we park. Let's go to somewhere that's got a... Let's go to somewhere that's got a stand. Christ, there must be some slope, because I feel like the plane is just absolutely flying, literally, down the taxiway. There we go. Nice and slammy on the brakes there. So we'll, I'll just take the taxi light off. We'll put the generator on just now. Let's take this stand. Yeah, let's take this stand here, right in front of the big logo for the airport. Why not? Oh, and I've just stopped it dead. Come on. Now, because I haven't said anything to GSX, we have no GSX to tell me when to stop, so we're just winging it once again. I guess... Jeez, oh, I really need to get better at taxiing. So we're just going to watch very unrealistically from out here. As you can see, that'll do it. Parking brake on. Auto brake can come off. Oh, the parking brake was not on. Whoops. Fuel cut off. Bring off these fuel pumps. Centre electrics. Bring the APU bleed on. Anti-collision off. Seat belts off. Probe heat off for now as well, and that will do it. We will ask GSX to deboard us. Let's just go with that. And yeah, welcome to Halifax. It was a nice little flight down in the 737 MAX. Yeah, the weather with active sky and just kind of doing things its own way. I did change some settings mid-flight that apparently updated to try and stop it doing things like what it did on the departure, and then obviously it done it again on the arrival. So I'll have to look into that a bit more. But we got here on the ground anyway. And yeah, another nice flight in the 737 MAX. But yeah, if you've got anywhere you would like me to take the aircraft, or any aircraft that is, you can feel free to let me know. But in the meantime, folks, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.